Hello friends, welcome to my channel, yet another channel for tech. And this time I bring to you a video showing my new acquisition. I just bought an HP laptop and I want to share with you my impressions about this beautiful device that I have found pretty much interesting, and I have experienced a good performance with this. And without any other thing to say, let's see what's in the box. Okay, so let me show you the laptop a bit more in the physical aspects of it. First, you can see that this is a beautiful silver color laptop. It has a pretty good look, really beautiful. In the right side of it, this is the front side. In the right side, you can see that it has the DC connector for the charger. Then you find two USB ports, 3.0 USB ports, and here you have a slot for the card reader. If you turn it over for the other side, this is the left side, you find the audio output, analog audio output for earphones, and USB Type-C connector, the HDMI interface for video, and here you have a RJ45 connector for a LAN cable. This is a kind of a compact type of connector. See, this has like a mobile part that makes pressure over the cable when you connect it, and I recommend if you have this laptop, if you bought this laptop, that you have be very careful with this connector, because if you're not careful enough, this like loses the pressure over the cable, and then you can have problems connecting the RJ45, the LAN cable on it. I have had laptops with this kind of interface, and for not being careful, then it loses the pressure, and then the cable like unplugs itself or loses the connection because it is not tightly coupled to the connector. Okay, here I have the charger for this laptop, and first thing I want to show you is this type of connector that the AC cable has. It is very common in very countries, but if you happen to have a different connector like we do in Uruguay, we have this type of connector, you have to obviously find a converter for it. The length of this AC cable is approximately 3 feet. The DC cables, you can see here the type of connector that it has. I think it's very common nowadays in several laptop models, and the length of this cable is approximately 6 feet. Well, nothing much to add about the charger. It's just standard. It's 45 watts and 19.5 volts. Okay, here I got my laptop open. It's still got the dust protector here, and when I remove it, you can see that it has a great silver look. As I mentioned, it has the Core i7 processing side and the Intel Iris Xe graphics accelerator. The first thing you can see here is it has a fingerprint reader, and this can be very useful for some people to start log on into the computer, the machine, securely and very fast. It also has a numpad, which makes the body of this computer a bit wider. And well, I'm going to show at this point it is like reset to factory settings, including software. It's got, when you buy it, it's got a Windows 10 Home Edition. I changed it, upgraded it to a Pro Edition because I use it for my work. So I'm going to show you, once I press the power button, how fast it gets into the Windows desktop. Let's see it. There you go. We really fast got into the Windows desktop, and once I put my finger on it, I instantaneously see my Windows desktop. Something I want to mention about this is this. I don't like this in laptops, but it's not a decisive thing in the hardware that I can use to decide whether to buy it or not. But just for your information, these functions keys comes by default. When you press one of these function keys, by default it performs the action that the icon it has on it. I mean, in this case, for example, F2 and F3 will control the computer brightness, and not the F1 and F2 or F3 functions key. So for example, if I press now here, I'm going to see that by default it's changing or adjusting the brightness of the screen. If I want the effect of F2 or F3 keys in the operating system, I will have to press this function key, hold this and press the key. That could be sometimes inconvenient. I am very used to press without the function key the F1, F2, F3 for different functions that I use in softwares. But well, if it is important for you, I'm just mentioning it so you can have this into account. And now let's see how the hardware is using a hardware info program. Okay, so here we are inside our computer, and let's see what can we find out exploring the software. Let's go first to the Windows control panel in the system and security, then system, and we see the hardware profile of it. We can see that is it indeed a HP laptop. The model is 15T dw300. We can see that it in fact has a Intel Core i7 11th generation processor. Specifically, the model is 1165G7. It runs at 2.8 gigahertz. I understand that this processor can be overclocked until 4 gigahertz. Also, it has 12 gigabytes of RAM memory and a 64-bit operating system. And as I mentioned to you, this has Windows Pro. I upgraded the license to Windows 10 Pro because the default installation that it has is a Windows Home license edition that activates when you connect to the internet. It's provided by the manufacturer. Let's see with the hardware info what else can we find out about the hardware profile using the hardware info. So here's the dashboard of the hardware info. At the top left side, you can see the processor is the model 1165G7 with 10 nanometers technology. It has 4 cores. You can see here the activity of the cores and the speed that each one is running at. Then at the top right of the dashboard, you can see that it has the graphics processing unit. It's Intel Iris Xe graphics processing unit. It has 1 gigabyte of RAM memory and a 64-bit wide bus. Then you see we have two RAM banks, one 8 gigabytes, the other 4 gigabytes for a total of 12 gigabytes running at 1600 megahertz. Also, we can see that the motherboard is HP881D, and the BIOS update is very recent because after I bought the laptop, it asked me to make a upgrade of the firmware. And regarding other things of the software, I can tell you that it comes with obviously being a computer provided entirely by HP. It has this HP Smart software that includes or provides a bunch of uh, cool support tools that you can use at your convenience. I did a capture of something that I noticed when I first started the laptop, that is, it offers, among several other services, it gives you access to Dropbox 100 gigabytes for free, but this is only for 12 months. So you can take this option, but in this case I didn't, because being this for 12 months, then after this period I will have to pay for it, and otherwise I would lose the information. I don't find this convenient, and I use other cloud storage services for my purposes. So if you find this useful, you can take the option of using the storage provided by HP. Also mentioning that it has a suite, Microsoft Office 365 suite. Obviously, it doesn't have any license for it, so you will have to whether install your version or buy a license for this Office, or if you look for alternatives, you can use this WPS Office or the Open Office. This WPS Office is pretty interesting. I will make a video for you later to show you how this suite is. It's very similar in the look and feel to the Microsoft products, but it has a free version you can use, even though it has a premium version that you have to pay for with more features and characteristics. All right, my YouTube audience, I hope you have liked the video and find useful the information contained on it. If you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions, please leave it down in the comments. I am Diego, this is yet another channel for tech, and see you in the next video.